All right, so this video is going to be about scope and specifically Singleton. With Dagger, you can annotate certain things, models, to give them scope them to a component. So let's say, you can think of a real world example with like an HTTP builder, retrofit or OK HTTP. You're only going to want one instance of that for the whole application. So it makes sense to have a singleton of that because you don't want to keep, rebuilding and creating multiple instances of that. It makes sense just to have one. So, but in our case, we're going to do it with a driver. There's going to be one driver to multiple cars. So one driver will have two cars. So first, let's make that driver class. All right, driver, and we'll annotate it with inject, and that's we're going to do that to the constructor. Okay, we got the driver class. Now let's add that to the car class. And Dagger will know how to make this because we annotated the driver class with inject. So Dagger knows how to make a driver, which is good. So we're done here. Now, let's see. We want to, our goal is to have one driver per component. So let's annotate the driver class first with @singleton. And because we changed the dependency graph, we have to rebuild. So let's go ahead and rebuild this. And then let's go into, car. And what do we have? We have a problem. It says car component is unscoped and may not reference scope bindings. And it's referring to driver scoped. So now we have to scope the car component. Let's go into car component and add that scope, singleton. Oh, that's not it. Singleton. All right, and okay, good. That's good now. Let's rebuild it again. All right, and then go into the car class while it's rebuilding. And let's change this. So let's change this log message to, let's say driver equals, and then we'll pass in that driver variable, driver. And this is just going to print the memory address, that hash, and which is what we want. We want to make sure there's just one instance of it. And let's see, driver equals driver is driving car equal to, and then this is referencing this car. Okay, we're good there. Let's close some of these. I don't like having a bunch of tabs. All right, let's go into main activity. And let's add another car. We'll call this car 2. We're going to call this car 1. And we'll say car 1.drive, car 2.drive. Okay, so we have two different instances of cars, two different cars. And let's see what happens when we run this. So I'm going to run it. Go to logcat. All right, here are the two log statements from drive, and it says driver equals, and then here's the memory address, which is the exact same one right here in where the second one is, if you look at the second log. So you can see same driver, but the cars are different. 81B and this one starts with 1C7. So the reason that is because, I'm going to stop this real quick. The reason that is because they are scoped to the same component. There's one in this component. Let's go to car component. It's scoped with Singleton, and we know car requires a driver. If we go to driver, you can see driver is scoped with Singleton. Now let's change something. Let's add, let me comment these out real quick, and let's make two different components. So let's do component 1, and then we'll do component 2, and we don't need this, and we're going to get this the car directly from that. So we'll do component 1 get car, and then we'll do component 2 get car. So now we have two different components, two different instances of the car component. We got to rebuild it. Now, let's see what happens. You'll notice something compared to the previous time we ran it. You'll notice something different. Here's the log. Let me clear that out. All right, here we go. So driver equals, here's the driver's memory address, 5C1. And then here on the second component, here's the driver's address. So the thing you can see here, now it's two different drivers, and still same thing, two different cars, but there's no longer a singleton. The singleton scope is only within the car component, because that's what's annotated, is the car component. So the reason we have two different drivers now is because we have two different components. Now, just to show this one more time, let's add one more here. Component 1 get car drive. Now the first two log statements should be the same driver and different cars, and then this one right here, this third log statement, should be a different driver, different car. Let's see. Oh, I might need to rebuild it. Let's see. Actually, no, I don't think I do. Okay, here we go. So where's it start? Right here. Okay, so driver, this is the first log statement, 5C1. Oh wait, no, right here. Oops. Okay, here's the first one, 5C1. You can see the second one, 5C1. These are both coming from component 1, and then you see the one coming from component 2, 642. So the scope is, it's not a singleton in what you would normally think. It's singleton to what it's scoped to. In this case, the car component. Car component is scoped with singleton, driver scoped with singleton, so all drivers within the scope of car component, the same scope, are going to be singletons. I'm going to, I don't want to keep it that way, so I'm going to, oops. Okay, I'm going to go back to doing it the way before. Change this, and then car 1, and then this will be car 2. Okay. Let me stop this, rebuild it, make sure it rebuilds. And then I'm going to commit this on GitHub, where you can view it at your own leisure. And okay, let's make sure it built. Looks like it did. Let me go ahead and run it just to make sure. Logcat. All right, let's see. Driver 5C1, driver 5C1. So same driver, but different cars, because car is not scoped to singleton. Good. Get out of here. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this on GitHub where you can check it out. And let's see, git added Singleton scope to car component and driver. All right, good. This is on GitHub. Check it out. If you like the video, like it, subscribe, and I'll make another one.